We're live.
We are going to have to get a whole intro.
We are. Everybody's been getting tagged because a tiny part of their music is being tagged for something. Now, 2 years ago, I got tagged for speaking English, mind you, for anyway, it was some overseas group that was beheading people, and it was part of their video on beheading people. And they said that whatever I said was sounded like whatever they said beheading people. I'm like, the hell. We fought that, but geez, they're tagging everybody with your video is not up to standards. Look, you.
Well, that's where I'm going to pull in some recruits and do have them do some music for us.
Yeah, I have a few people, one person that could do it too, but I just haven't done it.
I know we're procrastinators. I procrastinate everything. So I want to talk about getting stuck in loops, but I know that there is something once we get shared out that we need to promote or not promote. Well, we have promote. We need to talk about. We need to get out there to everybody that we can. But good evening, y'all. Welcome to Getting Cozy with Adrienne and Jan. That's Adrienne. I'm Jan. I might be today. I think so. It's been a long week.
It has.
I haven't even gotten to really talk to you, but I've talked to you, but I haven't talked to you.
Yeah.
But I have talked to you.
It's been crazy.
Oh, it's been like that with Jen too. Like, I miss you, Jen. I love you. I miss you. Okay, we just need to sit down and have like a moment, I think we need to have like girl time. Speaking of Jen, everybody's phone goes off.
Right. There we
I love
go. I needed to send this to the person who actually put this out there that has all the details. I have a few, I just don't have enough to really say much. And I don't need that many details just because I'm not doing it.
Don't read it. Don't read it. Don't read it. Because she's just, yep, just. We love you.
Yeah.
We love you. So, to the person who's actually going to be, with coming in with the information, if they just want to drop it in the comments too, and we can keep it pinned underneath all night long instead of doing comments. It's not going to be an insult to anybody. No offense. We'll point you out as we see you. But tonight I want to keep this pinned because we need as many people on the boots and ground in Florida. So where about in Florida is this? Well, hey, Joanne.
Milton, Florida. This is not going to be till Sunday, so people have a lot of time to prepare. There's going to be, and I want everybody to know up front, this is not a search and rescue. This is a search and recovery. So don't expect
any
the family
roses at the end. The family knows.
It's been 2 years. They got a new lead. They're wanting to go ahead and put boots on the ground now. No guarantees, no nothing. But if you decide to help, if you decide to be one of the heroes, know that you're going to show your ID and you're going to sign in. That's just the way it is. This is regulated by the government. There's going to be dogs. There's going to be everything, but all help is appreciated. So if anybody can get there, anybody is close to there.
This is in Milton, Florida.
Yeah. If you need more details, times, where you're going.
Even if you can't get there, I'm sure there's a spot where you can donate to help with food and water.
Yeah, the family is donating food the whole time. They're donating drinks. The family's desperate. So anybody that can help needs to help.
I'm also going to apologize. I have a young one with a concussion. Her and her brother had a collide-in, so I will be taking a break as Adrienne continues to fill this in as I go check on her real quick.
If she's awake, bring her in.
I'm going to.
The poor baby, I want to see her. Okay, so yeah, Sunday, Milton, Florida. This is all, I don't know who all knows FPI Unsolved. That's what she goes by on Facebook. Um, Kind of a neat side note on that. Science has come a long ways, and I found out some things tonight that are just unbelievable. It's awesome how science has, they've validated mediums. They have validated energy as it leaves the body. They have validated memories going into someone else. This is all scientifically proven now. So we are getting so much closer to actual science being involved. This is not going to be just we're investigators, we're mediums, we're, it's actually going to be something that is scientifically backed, which would be really awesome. We all know, but we also need a, we need a guideline. Um, we need we need something. Yes, Clarissa, it was FPI. Um, we need a guideline. We need something because right now we're just willy nilly everywhere because science isn't there, not yet. It is now, but we're closer to it being out there published. Lori picks up that stuff also. Joanne, that would be awesome. I'm sure we can use all the help we can get, whether it's remotely or whether it's on the ground. Right now, we're really needing on the ground because we know what's there. Um, we just need to find it. I'm I don't even know all the details because I can't be there. So it really doesn't do me any good to know the details. I just know there's a family member that needs found, and the family's looking. That's as good as we can get. And if it was any of our family, we'd want him found. So
Absolutely.
I know a lot of us have friends in Florida. I don't know how many of them are going to see this before Sunday, but we have almost a week, so let's do it.
Well, there's no excuse. There's always Messenger. They can share this out. They can,
Mhm.
pick up the phone call, send a text message. You can send a 20-second video and say, hey, listen, I'll be hitting some people up in Florida that I know that are close to that area. But I'm sure they're already going to be there. So
Yeah, most of us have 5,000 friends that have been on Facebook forever on the same profile, so that there's no reason that we can't find people in Florida. None at all.
all right. So when we get more information, we'll get that pinned up for you guys. All right. So little
She
Miss
laying
has a
down again.
she is.
All I see is that hair.
She just wants the snuggie.
That's okay.
She's going to be joining us today. Um, so we have something that we're going to be doing on our page that I would like to promote, and it's kind of a kickoff. It's been not necessarily a spinoff, but say a teaching block um, for everyone and for the individual involved. Something where you guys can maybe see how putting these principles to use can change your life. We're going to have a true addict come on later on, and not in this show. We'll get together with him because Adrienne still needs to meet him. Um, he will sit down and he will be family friendly for this show and the networks that we have, um, and groups that we promote to, whatnot. But on our page, it's not going to be family friendly. We're going to get down to some nitty gritty stuff. We're going to get down to true blue, what feeds addiction, what addiction looks like, how it works. what causes addiction, how to overcome things. This is not some, I don't know if you remember back in the day, the celebrities getting clean, type of thing. This is going to be tough. He'll be checking in on the page when he feels like he needs to express himself, whether it be on, short videos or something he writes just to get off of his chest. He'll have his own section on our page. And I think it's important for everybody to understand that there is no judging, because we are all human. We all face addiction, no matter who you think you are. We all have addiction, and we all need to get real. We need to get honest if we want to make changes. So even if this helps just him, or if it helps somebody else, it's time to get real and get down to what this show is truly about.
And this will be on our Getting Cozy with Adrienne and Jan page. If you're not a member of it and want to be a part of this, go join it. Send us a message. We'll send you an invite. If you can't find it, whatever. Joanne, I don't. You're welcome to send her my way. At least I don't think I do. I have almost 5,000. Unless I interact with them, I really don't know. I need to weed through them. I do. If I don't interact, they need to go. These actors I've got on there, I'm not trying to get famous. I don't know. I don't know why I have them on there, but I do. They need to go. Yeah,
Oh,
it is a lot and it's ridiculous.
it's time to weed the garden. Although, at this point, if they've been there, they've been there.
I don't know. I weeded one out yesterday that had some really bad things to say. His post said something along the lines of something about gay people, and it was not something I'll repeat, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, what? And he got even nastier and told me I needed to go make a sandwich. At that point,
Yeah.
I had two choices. I'm either going to be me or I'm going to take the high road.
Well, I
I
would
took
have made
the
a
high road.
sandwich. I would have made him a sandwich.
And I said, I
Would
can
have
do
been
that.
a good little girl, and I would have made him a sandwich.
I just said, I can do that. And he said, I love you. Number one, I don't know who the man is. Number two, making fun of anybody, not okay. Um, Needless to say, he found his way off my page, but it's things like that. I see hints of things. It's like, no, no, gone. Was that your dinging?
No,
There was a ding. I don't know where it came from.
that's not my ding.
Hi, Sissy. What doing, baby? Do you have an owie? I
We went to dance, and she tried so hard.
can't see
She,
her black eye.
Mhm. Oh, I know. She's hiding it. That's why. But we went to dance and we tried. We tried really, really, really hard. Um, I was so proud of her, but we just couldn't do it. And I knew that when the hair tie came off, and she had this look, she just stood there, and she put her arms in her shirt because she didn't want to move her arms. And then she started just moving her legs, and then she just stood there and she just looked at the teacher, and I was like, okay, it's time, baby. You did good. You tried. And then she tried to watch class because it's on Zoom. So, she's trying to watch class. And she's watching class. She's just, and I'm like, okay, baby, give me the phone. She tried. Um, it was pretty good. It was a pretty good effort.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna say this real quick, just for the people that haven't been here. That things didn't work. Jeremy, hi. I'm assuming it's Jeremy. So for the people that weren't here and don't follow all the shows, I was on Supernatural Talk a couple weeks ago. Um, Having trouble breathing, couldn't. It had been going on for a day or two. Um, Finally, it got to the point where I physically couldn't breathe. So went to the hospital. Oh, Jen, okay. Um, and ended up. I really wanted to see Dan LaFave from Old Park Hotel. That was my first actual haunted experience, and I really wanted to talk to him. So I was able to get in probably 20 minutes of the show, plug his book and talk to him a second, tell my experience. And I was like, guys, and I'm trying real hard in the show not to go. And I was like, gotta go. And I ended up in the hospital that night, stayed in the hospital that night. And you think you're healthy and you think you're invincible. And yeah, I ended up with several blood clots in my lungs. One of them lodged in a place where it killed the bottom part of my lung. I am still fighting being able to breathe. Thank goodness it's only intermittent pain. I will take it because this was constant. But now they're going to go and do some tests. There's two things that cause it. I was on estrogen and I'm a smoker. That's one. The second one is it could be either breast cancer or um, they're going to do, yeah, a scope in places I don't want it. Yeah, in places I don't want it. So,
let's just get honest. Come on. I got honest with you. I'll get honest. I had a double-ended. I had an endo and colostomy.
it's no fun. I'm sure. They're talking about putting me out for it, and then I need a driver, and I'm like,
yep. What? You really don't want to be awake. We discussed this.
Scope up my butt. Whatever. I know you'll
no,
be awake, but you won't be
not.
awake.
No, it goes through. Like they go through, and then if they see something, they have to take cultures and they have to scrape your intestine, and they have to clip things, and they got to do stuff, dude. And it's important to get it done. I don't care what anybody says. Get it done. You need to. After a certain age, you just go in and you get it done. You love yourself. You take care of yourself. Become healthy.
It's supposed to be 50, not my age.
Do what?
The age is supposed to be 50, not my age.
I'm sorry, what? It's not just based on age. It's based on your family history, your history, your risk factor. So
I have none.
Thank you, Denny. Thank you. But let me tell you, I want to be on the phone with you when you're drinking that stuff.
They've already took it to the pharmacy and said, come get it.
Oh yeah, baby. I want it. I want to hear you just be like, I hate this. I'll be your moral support.
His mom and dad, I guess they had it done together. They took one and then the other. They were,
oh man, that's love.
Goodness, had two bathrooms there. But he was like, his dad's just a jokester anyway, and he says, he's grabbing his mom's hand and goes, yeah, baby. Ow! Oh yeah, I love you. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I do not want to do this.
See, when I got sick and they couldn't figure out what was going on with me, I had to go in and I had to go get a double-ended. And I started drinking that stuff, and I couldn't keep anything down to begin with, and I couldn't keep anything in to begin with, if you remember. Like, it was awful. So at one point it stopped coming out the other end, and I started vomiting. I don't know
no.
It was bad, just out my nose, everything else. Now this normally doesn't happen. And I go in the next day, I said, I could only drink half of it. I said, I started vomiting up the rest of it. And Doc goes, well, we're going to figure out what's going on, I guess, either way. And that's when I got the news that my intestines were so swollen, even at the top, that nothing was going through. So it would only slowly decrease in swelling if I didn't irritate it. And then it would swell completely shut the minute that it would irritate again. So it was awful. I lost over 100 pounds. It was bad.
I don't want to do it that way.
No. So I know nobody knows what caused it, to be honest. They put me, they honestly, they were going to let me just go home. And somebody put their foot down and I put my foot down. I was bawling. It was awful. Um, Losing that much weight in that short period of time. Mm-mm. So they ended up getting me anti-inflammatory and steroids and stuff to take, and it ended up working. So thank goodness. I was starving.
Oh, I
I
can't
was so
imagine.
hungry. I'm just barely able to start gaining weight right now. I just, oh my God, I was so hungry. I just cried. I
No
just give,
reason for that.
and I'd have to cook for the kids. Oh my, that was just the worst. And I love cooking, and oh, it's just bad. But get it done. Just get it done.
We
So
seem
we
to
need to
have
talk.
issues.
Hmm.
It's telling me on Things Network that it said we were an hour late or something. They canceled it. I don't know what the heck they're talking about here. Uh, Nothing wants to go as planned ever. It's just not.
No. Oh, we're on. So I mean, we're on. We're on our time. We're 30 minutes in. So we
Mm,
need to talk about loops. I've noticed something lately. Breaking patterns. We need to talk about breaking patterns. That is huge right now, and that's one of the things that we're going to be touching on with. I don't. I don't want to. With my dude, with Boris. Um, what I have called him for like 10 years now.
mm.
Boris.
I think you
But
better rethink the whole analogy there.
it was his radio DJ name. It was just a Rocky and Bullwinkle thing. I love Rocky and Bullwinkle. One of my favorite cartoons. And Underdog. Just saying. Uh Breaking patterns. Whether they be your own patterns or whether they be patterns of, say, family.
Hmm.
Addiction comes with patterns.
Hmm.
Um, what patterns are we repeating?
Addiction, suicide, hatred, just hatred of races, of cultures, of gay people, whatever it may be. It's repeated. It's drilled
Sure.
in your head.
It's yeah. I'm well. I'm looking at the pattern like in my life. I'm breaking that pattern, and that energy is so strong. It holds you. It grounds you because it. I had a discussion with somebody this morning. It grounds you because that's what you're familiar with, that's what you're comfortable with. And to break a pattern, you have to break out of what we deem as the norm for yourself. We may not look at somebody and go, okay, we look at people and go, that's not normal. And that person goes, that's my normal. Who are you to judge me for my normal?
Yeah.
And I'm not judging anybody on their normal. Their normal's their normal, but is that normal good for you? And there's that but. Everything after but what?
Stink.
Stinks. So, with that being said, how do you fix that? How do you identify if it's healthy for you and if it's not healthy for you? Those are things that I want to touch upon um, with loving yourself. You have to identify what's not healthy for you in your life and your pattern. It could be the pattern of men you choose. It could be the pattern of clothes you wear. It could be the pattern of things you eat.
Jenny.
Um, it could be a pattern of anything, how you drive, your attitude.
Mhm.
First of all, pay attention to pattern because that's mental health also. Mental health is huge. If you notice a pattern within yourself and you're getting real with yourself and you're getting honest with yourself, write those things down. Take note of those things. If you notice that, you are extra emotional every 3 months, you really need to go get checked out if that lasts a little bit longer and then you're extremely happy.
Mhm.
Baby, you got bipolar and you need to go get on meds, and that's okay. It's okay to be bipolar, and it's
Mhm.
okay to be on meds, and it's okay to go get help because that's not going to hurt anybody. It's only going to benefit them, and it's going to benefit you in becoming a better you. And then that bipolarism being identified can help take away so much negativity and so much off your plate that you feel so much lighter. Um, that needs to be addressed with any type of mental health. Addiction
Jeremy,
is a mental
see
health
that in you.
problem. Jeremy, that's where you have to start getting real with yourself.
And with us. We will tell you the truth. You know this.
Right. You want to sit down and you want to talk about something? I'll get real with you. What are your patterns? Let's break it down.
We see them.
Ooh-wee. Um, pattern breaking is hard and it's a team effort. Um,
It is. You don't see it yourself. You just don't.
no. And that's where I preach about friendship. You have to have friends. You have to have friends that you can get real with, and you have to have friends that you can get honest with. And if you need one of those friends, my Facebook page is right there. The group page is right there. I will be that friend. And if I am that friend, I I hope you realize that
Yeah,
I'm just going to be
Rosie, that
honest. I'm
scares
going to
me.
tell you what I see and how I see it.
It
Adrienne,
does. And I know that you can always talk to us. Um, but yeah, I do know you're right, and that scares me.
well, anxiety and depression, Rosie, you're also an energy worker. And this is another reason why we created this show. It's a lot of people don't realize that you're affected by everything around you. And how do you release? How do you unwind? And that anxiety and that depression can be moderated by what washing away, that is not what is needed on your plate. Um, I had to take something. I'm packing up my stuff from the other house. All right. It's come down to the wire where it needs to just get all done and taken care of. And I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks, it's just done. I'm ready to move on. I'm excited for the next chapter of my life. I'm really happy about where I'm at with the person that I've become and that I'm becoming every day. And I've got a great team, and it's amazing. So, and it's put me in a position that I'm in now. So as I'm packing up this stuff, I know in the back of my head that Michael had mentioned when I was packing up Pat's stuff, pay attention to all of his stuff, basically. I got to thinking, I'm missing something very important. And I got up and I got on a stool and I'm tiptoeing and I went, yep, there it is. And I grabbed it. I pulled it down. It was his portion plate. He not only had a portion plate for food, because that's one of the things he overate, and he gained a lot of weight with the medicine, the Seroquel he was on, and he was on Seroquel at a young age, and he had to be on it. So he gained a whole bunch of weight, everything else. So we had to control his weight, we had to control his diet, and that's when we found out he was doomed to be 7'5", as he put it. um, but We got him this portion plate, and it was how much fruit you need, how much protein, how many, grains you need. And I remember sitting down and making one for his emotions.
Mhm.
And I remember sitting down and making one, and we called it the bullshit plate.
Did he
How
take
much?
it away from you? Did he like reach and take? That's what he
Hmm.
showed me. He's reaching and taking it away, like and laughing. It's like, no,
That's exactly, yeah.
he's the
He was
best.
like, mom, but he loved that plate. Like, he just, nobody was allowed to eat off that plate. Nobody was allowed to do anything with that plate. It was that was Pat's plate. Everybody knew it. So he always knew where he was sitting. There was no question where that child was sitting. He was sitting where his plate was. And I mean, we had a lot of kids and a lot of people all the time. So it was always funny. They always teased him about that plate, but everybody was jealous of that plate because it was a badass plate. Um, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I postpartum, man, that was bad. That was awful. I suffered through it for over a year before I figured out that that's what I was going through. And it took getting real and getting to a psychiatrist because I was off the deep end. It was bad.
I've never
Um,
had that. I can't speak on that, but why would anybody say that, that you don't need it? It's an excuse. I no.
no, no, actually, a famous actor once said that, and we all know who he is, Mr. He jumps on couches during interviews. And he put down his wife, and he wouldn't let his wife get those. And it was part of his religion, and it really upset a lot of women. And it upsets me because I don't care who you are, a man or a woman. I don't care what your situation is. If you need mental health meds, get those meds. If you need that mental health, get that mental health. That is so important. Get that portion plate. Put that portion out there. What are you willing to deal with, and what is overfilling your plate? And once you start clearing your plate, you will notice that your depression and your anxiety should lessen with the help of the meds and with psychiatric help. It's all about getting real and starting to love yourself. It's about putting yourself first and filling yourself full of the healthy stuff so that when you look at your plate, it's not full of crap, and you're able to serve, you're able to show your plate off. You're able to say, okay, I have this and I'm willing to share it with you. I
My
have room.
girl, she's the youngest. She was recently. She finally went to a psychologist, and I was so happy. She didn't tell me till after she went, and she said, "Mom, I was diagnosed with maybe multiple personalities, like borderline and ADD." And I said, "Okay, so you need to deal with that with them." She's like, "But I'm scared." "Why are you scared?" "I'm afraid they're going to take my baby and my job if they give me the wrong meds and I go crazy." I said, "Look, they cannot take your baby or your job for doing what your psychologist said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you start feeling strange and you know it, you call. You say, hey, this isn't working and this is why." I said, "There's always others, and you don't know what'll interact and what won't. So you try it." So
With Pat, well, I can talk about Pat and I can talk about myself. I mean, when we went and we got on meds and we started, and I say we because I've been on meds. In fact, I will tell you that I took meds every single pregnancy after my oldest. I never wanted to go through that again. I never, ever, ever. I risked this much by taking those meds because my mental health,
mhm.
the minute that that child came into the world, was the utmost important to me. I just I couldn't. I'm gonna start crying. I was a bad mom in my mind. I will sit down and I will tell you I did everything that I could. I really, really did. But I drank a lot. And I didn't understand why I was drinking. I didn't understand what was going on. And it was because I had too much bottled up and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I was a young mom and I was a young wife. And then September 11th happened. And here I am. I'm 18 years old with a 8-month old going, oh crap, my husband is gone. What do I do? And that's when it really hit me that I really needed to pay more attention to myself. And I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on, but I stopped right then and there. Um, but man, right before that, it was bad, Adrienne. It was bad. It was every night. Um, my husband at the time would get home and I would say, I love you. Here's dinner. Here's the baby. I've got to go. I loved him with everything. He is my first true love, and oh, I couldn't imagine life without him. He's so handsome and smart, and I even thought it then, like he was just breathtaking, but all I could do was drink. I woke up in the morning, took care of him, and all I could think about was drinking. I had a good friend, Sheena, and I found her picture today. And she had gone through hell while I was pregnant with Dylan. And she was my rock when I had him. And she told me, she was my friend. She was my get real friend. She came over one morning and she was just like, I'm done. I am done with you. And I'm laying in bed and I'm like, what did I do now? And she picked up Dylan. She goes, you know what? We're going to go have a day. And when we come back, I expect you to have this place cleaned up to the utmost. I expect a proper dinner on the table. I expect you to be showered and shaved and decent. And you are not going out tonight. You are going to have dinner with me and Randy. And you're going to, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. You know, and I cleaned up my act after that. I really did. You know, it was amazing to have that friend, that sister. Yeah, and Cherie, she was right there with me. I don't know if she's watching tonight, but she usually is. She'll she'll jump right in and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, this girl was bad," and I expect her to. Like if she's watching, I expect her to do that because it's about getting real. So I had to break that cycle and I had to break that because I knew that my family were alcoholics and I did not want to become an alcoholic. And I knew that my husband at the time, his mother was an alcoholic, and he paid the consequences for it. So did his family. And I didn't want to do that to him either. I loved them enough to start loving myself. And that was a huge, huge moment in my life. And that was not the first time I broke an addiction. And I'm not one of those that not perfect.
Well, and that's it. That's why we have this show.
Right.
This
But when I'm
not,
done, that's the one thing that everybody has to know. When I'm done, I'm done. Like it's like, nope, never again.
and see, that's the thing.
Drinking's different.
I'm not hiding.
Well, that's it.
I'm not hiding any of this. I'm absolutely an alcoholic. I do not hide that. I do not lie about it. It's there. Now I have to stop that. I have to stop smoking. Those are two things I have to stop to be able to save my life. So while we're going on, Michael, is that his name? Mark. While we're going on Mark's journey, he's going to be able to help me with mine as well. So this is where we're going with that. And this is why it's going to be on our page where it may not be so family friendly at times because there's going to be anger involved. There's going to be truth involved. There's going to be reality involved. It's going to happen. And that's why it's going to be there.
You know, and I encourage anybody and everybody if you want to share it. You know, if you have a group page and you feel that this is something that you want to share out, share it. I'm looking at going with this show on also a different platform, and this was per Mark's request. Um, we are going to go on the Gamer website, and we're going to run a podcast on there too. So he's wanting to touch people on all boards. So this isn't just for, the paranormal groups or anything else like that. This is a get real show. This is share it. Let's touch people. Hey Brad.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I don't put out there on normal Facebook. I don't put it out there on groups. I don't put it out there on, this is not anything that's put out there other than this show. If people watch this show, they know. If they don't, this isn't something that anybody knows except for my immediate family, Jan and Jim. Um, and it's not because I'm trying to hide it. It's just because this is my support group. And as we go into the other show, it's going to get real. It's going to get nasty. It's time. Do you want to live or die? That's where we're at.
Right. And a lot of people don't understand that they're at that point. And Jenny, you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being honest, and thank you for supporting me, and thank you for supporting other women. It's important. It is so important. And in the one thing I'm going to touch upon is we also need to work on men. I think men have been, and we're going to learn this in this next show. Men have lost their identity. They have lost who they are, their purpose. And we as society need to recognize the fact that our men have a lot more mental health issues than
Absolutely.
than most. I mean, and
we have our what they call it, PMS. We have our menopause.
Men have cycles.
Right. Men are kind of shoved off to the side, like you have a certain part. You don't have any issues. Wrong.
And as much as I like, oh God, as much as I'm going to say this, as much as I'm pro woman, like I believe a woman should be a woman, like I really am. I support the man cause, and that's one thing that Mark's going to be talking about. I'm working on his point of view that there are women out there that understand, what men are going through, and we need to break that pattern, and we need to break that loop, and we need to break what women in society are deeming acceptable, where they think that it's okay to use men as paychecks. I see them selling sex, and we need to stop that. Women have no self-worth and no self-value, so men, therefore, what are the good guys supposed to do when all these women are taking advantage of them? So,
and that, Brad, that's where I have a problem, honestly, because
it is a big issue.
Yes, men are taught to, oh my gosh, you're supposed to be tough. You're not supposed to share your feelings. That's not in this. I mean, maybe back 18th century, I don't know. But that needs to be gone, because if women can't see a man's emotions,
men spoke their emotions.
Yeah.
Men spoke their emotions. There used to be such things, and not that I'm saying I deem them proper, but I understand society's place and role. And we have to understand that society and history is society and history, and we've come a long way from it, but have we really? There used to be meetings where it was only men. Where do you think men went to go get the BS off their chest?
Yeah.
You had things like the Elks Club, or you had things like Gentlemen's Club, true Gentlemen's Club, not strip clubs, Gentlemen's Club, where they go play cards and stuff like that. You had functions of society where, even church, you would go out and you go to the Gentleman Club one night, and then you go to a church function the next day, and you would see the same people. There was no judgment. It was accepted. That's the way it was. But they supported each other in a different way. And society had its way of functioning and it worked. Women had their groups. I was watching the show Bewitched. I love that show. And
Yeah.
Jesse and I were talking about the simplicity of it and how it needs to go back to being simple again. And everybody goes, oh, well, she's doing this. She's just staying home and she's cooking for him and she really doesn't have a voice. Yes, she does. If you listen, it was just a proper voice.
Mhm.
And he had a proper voice. But you know what? He always bent to her. And it was her house and her way. And she put him on the couch, and it was always worked out in the end. And there was never truly an argument or a fight. There was just a disagreement. And yes, she stayed home and she vacuumed and she did all of that. And she was proud of her work and she was proud of her home and she was proud of her man and she was proud of her family. She supported him in what he did. So therefore, he didn't need to have to go anywhere else to get that support. But if he wanted to go out golfing and if he wanted to go do this, that was fine. And during the day, if she wanted to go to lunch, she could go anywhere she wanted. And she had bridge club and she had high society, charity work to do or things to do within society. So she had a role and she had a purpose and she had a voice and it was still heard and it was proper. And oh my God, is she beautiful? Look at the clothes that she's wearing, the dignity, the pride that she had in her look, the way that she just worked it
Yep.
and what they deemed was risque and flashy. I think that the simplicity of life has gone away, and that's everything that we have on our plate. I read a chapter of Harry Potter to my kids last night for the first time in a long time, and that's all I wanted to do. Just sit down, read the kids a chapter every night of a book. It didn't matter what it was, and I used to with my kids.
Yes.
And then I got busy. Well, you know what? Slow down, Janice. The time's not going to pause. And they're just getting older, so enjoy the moment. Clear a little bit more off your plate. Kick it off. You know, the simplicity of it's beautiful. And that's what I'm addicted to now. I'm addicted to simple. Get the healthy addictions. I want to spread happiness instead of bitterness and hatred and anger, and I want my kids to see that. I want to be a better example. And that's what helped me break the pattern and the loop and the cycle. Help me realize that patterns had a lot to do with my psychological health.
Yep.
And I mean, if that pattern is off, and that's what I was looking at when I was undoing all those needle points today, each thread, each color had to be counted.
Yep. I do it
Every
all the time. And I'm telling you, I don't know how many times you, okay, let's pull it out because I missed one.
right, and count a cross stitch or long stitch, needle points, embroidering, anything like that. Any detail work.
Mhm.
We make mistakes. We need to go back and we need to fix it. That pattern has to be fixed. It's okay to miss one, but don't continue the pattern to be off. Absolutely, Denny. I've seen that. I understand. I understand. I don't know what happened to being a man is much more than just being a provider. And that's that's huge. When your partner's down, you need to you need to support that partner. Never once, if my partner was down, either one of my husbands was down, did I ever kick them. I said, okay, how are we going to get through this? and I went back to school and I finished something so I could go back to work and make more money. Um, I would, if I was staying at home with the kids and something happened and he couldn't work, I went to work. I did what I could do. The whole comment about go make a sandwich, you know what? I did. I'm proud of it. I am so proud of it. I went and I made sandwiches for 90 days at Subway and I became a sandwich artist. And you
Right?
know what? I put food on the table and I put food on other people's table and I did it with a smile on my face. I would never do it again. I
Right.
cannot do fast food.
Okay, so this FBI unsolved. Anybody who's near Florida, if you can't find me or can't message me, I'm going to get you in contact with her anyway. This is the recovery mission I was talking about at the beginning of the show. If you're squeamish, if you're this is a recovery. It's not a search and rescue. It is a recovery. You will need an ID. You will need to sign in. You'll need boots. It's rural. Anybody who's near there, anybody who has friends there, um, this is a cold case. This is a family that has been looking for somebody for at least 2 years. So anybody that's close, anybody that could help, if I was there, believe me, I'd be there. Um, but we all have connections. We all have huge friends lists. So let's anybody who's near Florida. It's Sunday. It's not tonight. It's not like right now. You have plenty of time. It's Sunday. So please message her. She can give you details. But if you're close to there, let's find this person. I don't even know details because I didn't ask, simply because I'm not going to be able to be there. There's no point in me knowing. Um, I just know the basics. If I was there, I'd be there. Um, this is something we'd all want for our families. We'd want someone to help if it was somebody we knew. So let's all do the right thing. Karma does come back, good or bad. So either get with me or and I'll get you in touch with her, or please just message her. And Jennifer, you'd really be good at that. Even if you weren't there, you'd be awesome at it.
Brad, I understand. I agree. You know, support starts at home. That is huge. And Jenny, I agree. We've been programmed. We've been programmed. We've been dehumanized. We haven't, and that's a big thing with this cold case. Um,
Mm-mm,
empathy.
mm-mm.
Oh no, I agree with Jenny. I agree. No, and you know what? You're gonna,
No. Denny knows better. This man ain't dying alone. This man
Adrienne. Hold
die
on, hold
alone.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. But I understand what he's saying.
Oh, I do too. But he knows he ain't dying alone. I go first. He's gonna be there. It doesn't matter either way it goes. Neither one of us are dying alone, and whoever dies first is responsible for taking the other one across. So no, ain't nobody gonna be alone.
But you know what? Hold on. He is dying alone because you know what? If he doesn't have anybody right now, who is he living with?
Oh,
He's
he has plenty, not just one. He has a few. He's not alone. But as far I know what he's talking about emotionally, he knows he's got me. That hasn't changed in a few years. He knows that.
it's just it's hard. It's a reality that men face. He's
It
speaking
is.
to the majority of men, and that's one thing you're going to learn from Mark. You're going to be like, what, and you're going to hear some of the things he's gone through and why he self hates, and you're going to be like, wow, we as women need to really look at what we're doing to our men. We are so demasculizing them that they just don't understand their place in society and they're so lost. They're just
That
like, what do I do?
that's absolutely true.
Because as animals, we are naturally programmed to be one way, but yet we are being dehumanized.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to break that pattern. We need to break that loop. We need to break that. And we need to become better women. We need to become better men. We need to be better human beings. We need to be better to ourselves. We need to
Well,
be better humans. We need empathy. I'm tired of it. We need empathy. I'm going
that's
to preach it again. Love
men,
people where they're at. Be empathetic and understanding that we're all human and that we're all guts.
men are supposed to be providers. Okay,
Absolutely.
great. Yes, half of this world is not. They will let that woman provide as long as she'll do it. Now, where did this start? Did it start with men being lazy assholes? Maybe. Did it start with women burning their bras and saying, I'm going to work and you're going to stay home and watch this kid? Maybe. Who cares where it started? It's got to change.
Just fix it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and pay for the sins of my mother. I'm not going to sit here and pay for the sins of my grandmother. I am going to sit here and I'm going to pay for my sins. And I'm going to be accountable for my sins, and I'm going to clean up my actions, because if I clean up my actions, then I am taking all the responsibility and I'm turning it into something that's greater than this. I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain it. I'm being responsible for my own actions. So therefore I know that what I'm leaving behind is better than what was left for me. And I'm not saying that they did a bad job, because they were working with what they had. But we have means of communication now, and we have means to understanding that we need to use those means. And then we need to also get back to the basics of family. We need to get back to the basics of community. And we need to get back to the basics of society and simplicity. Society and simplicity.
Yep.
I don't like the patterns that I'm seeing. I really don't. We just got to break these patterns. We got to break the addiction to these negative patterns. So, break the addiction of self-hating and self-loathing and self-disintegrating, because if we feel good about ourselves, we're not going to put somebody else down. If we feel good about ourselves and we are filled with the right light, then our light shines so bright that, hopefully our light rubs off on somebody else and shines it in their dark corner.
Right.
And we just hand them the knowledge. Whether they use it or not at that moment is up to them. Whether they try it 50 million times and they figure out what works for them, they figure out what works for them. But we got to take the responsibility and start fixing ourselves, so that way we can help others. And just be better people, be better partners, be better friends. If you have an addiction, you have a problem, you should have that friend that you go to. You should have that support. Yes, it is. Then Mark will be teaching you guys about that. Oh my goodness. I don't know if he's watching tonight. I know you got a new job. I'm pretty proud of him. I hope he is, because he'll be cheering in the background. If not, he'll watch.
Mark, if you're here, I can't wait to meet you. We're gonna get down and dirty. We're gonna do this together, and it's gonna get probably pretty raw, but that's what we're here to do.
It is
kind of reality TV on Facebook. If they take us down, whatever. It could have helped someone.
Yep, that's all. All we're asking is, just bear with us in the fact that all we're doing is we're helping somebody. We're helping more than just one person.
We don't pretend to be somebody we're not. I'm not perfect. I'm 48 years old. No, I'm not perfect. Do I have it together? Hell no. I got it less together now than I did when I was 45. It's because I know more now.
Hey, Adrienne, what do I always say? You know what? That's okay. You weed out the fucking bullshit. You weed out the bullshit. You throw it in your garden. You plant new seeds. And oh my God, look at those flowers grow. Because you know what grows great? and bullshit?
Mhm.
Flowers.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
we got to get off here.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
So,
So
guys,
we love you guys.
thank you all. Please message me. Please message her. If you're anywhere close to Florida, if you want to help with this, let us know. Share it out. We're going to do this, and we're going to help find this person. I don't even know if it's male or female at this point. It doesn't matter. We're going to find a family member. So
that's okay, Don. If they don't want to fix, yep, and Don, if they don't want to fix themselves, that's okay. That's their choice. We just love them where they're at, and I'll leave it at that. Love you guys.
Love y'all. Have a good night. See you next week.